On Thursday night up in Brisbane, I had the great pleasure of going to the Mick Jagger concert. What a concert it was. And in fact, we took the film crew along. We were actually allowed to show up the setting up of the concert.
Good stuff, Molly. Terrific.
Then we went into the concert itself, and we saw Mick dash out on stage. We saw the concert, a great band. Well, Mick, welcome to Australia, and certainly welcome to Hey Hey.
Thanks very much.
To have toured last in Australia in 1973, it's been a long time between everything. What were you expecting from an Australian audience? Because I noticed you thanked last night the fact that they'd been very loyal and that they'd stuck with you.
Yeah, well, just to come back, I mean, in rock and roll, it's a very fast-moving thing.
Right.
And it's great that they sort of have such long memories, and they say, oh well, yeah, last time he was pretty good, maybe go and see him this time. And obviously some of the people weren't there last time, so they'd never seen you, so I don't know, it's great.
You did so many classical songs of the Stones. When you wrote them, did you ever believe that in 1988, not only being popular on stage, those songs, but I mean in every dance club, whatever, you put on a Start Me Up or Jumping Jack Flash and the packs the dance floor. Does that surprise you, that longevity?
Yeah, because when they were done in the early, in the early 60s or whatever, I mean, you expected them to just be here today and gone tomorrow. I mean, and it's fair to say, I'm not being modest, but a lot of the songs that I love doing are forgotten. I mean, some of them are remembered, so it's nice that, you know, I mean, I didn't only do old songs last night. No. I did try and mix it up. Yeah, that's good.
I mean, the collection of that band, I mean, did it take a long time to get that together?
Yeah, it took, I don't know, I mean, about a year or something to really feel that they were the right people. I mean, you still like to change them around. I mean, I've got Susie playing keyboards instead of the guy I had. Right. Richard in Japan earlier this year. I mean, you are free to change around the band if you want. You're not you don't always have to work with the same people, but the core of the band is the same. And it was the band that more or less we toured Japan with earlier on this year.
Joe as guitarist, I mean, an amazing guitarist.
Yeah, he's a great guitar player, and he's had like the biggest guitar record, I suppose, in the last couple of years. You know, as an instrumental piece.
Just looking at the audience last night, it was an amazing mixture of demographics as far as ages were concerned, and they treat you as a rock and roll hero, and you were one of you epitomise now a rock and roll hero. What were your rock and roll heroes back when you were first starting off with the Stones, or even before?
I used to I love Chuck Berry and Elvis, and I used to like kind of not quite so great people, maybe like Ricky Nelson I used to like when I was young, so I liked the way he looked. Right. Now, the thing is, when you're young, you don't always like people just for their musical ability, because you like the way they look or the way they do their hair or what kind of shirt they've got on or something.
Make sure you go and see it. If you've got a ticket, just get there and really party, because it's really worth it. It was great. He was excellent. Really good.
Right now, I mean, when the Stones became so big, and I mean, you were known as the rebel group, you then took a different field in your own career by going into films. Performance was one, and then of course Ned Kelly, and you seem to have shunned that over the last, say, 10 years.
Well, some of the films you get offered are so tacky, and they're just exploitation pieces. And the problem was really, you know, I did those two films that you just mentioned back to back almost.
Yeah.
And I had to make a decision where I was going to really be an actor or be a singer.
Did radio have much influence on your life? the early days of listening to?
Yeah. You know, in England we never had proper radio. We used to have the old sort of auntie BBC, and they played like an hour's pop records a week. So we used to have Radio Luxembourg, and you get there late at night and tune in, hear a few songs like from over in Luxembourg and so on. And even now I think the radio in England is really, it's really bad.
I don't dare mention them, to even discuss that. I don't know, I'm in too much trouble.
I mean, I love rock and roll music. I not only, you know, I've liked it ever since I was a kid, so it's sort of, and so lots of other people, you know, when rock and roll music first started happening, everyone thought it was like a passing phase, like the cha-cha. You know, we have to all these passing phases when we were very, very small children. The rumba, the cha-cha, and rock and roll came, and they thought, oh, well, that's going to be like this year's kind of hula hoop. But it just kind of took root somehow and managed to survive and ate up all these styles of music, you know, along the way, you know, that became sort of incorporated along, which I think helped.
Well, to finish off, I mean, you finish off the show with Satisfaction, and you seem very satisfied in life. I hope that this isn't the last time we see you in Australia.
No, I hope it's not going to be such a long gap.
Yeah. I mean, I know that, you know, you get asked the inevitable question, you're going back to the Stones, will the Stones do another album? I've seen the answers, yes, you may do another one.
Yes, we might hopefully do another. I mean, I say all these things because I'm kind of I try to be optimistic about the Rolling Stones. It's just hard after all these years trying to get up to do, you know, things and do it. So, but I'm very optimistic about the Stones doing some work in the future. But I mean, I enjoy doing this, what I'm doing now, because I'm very relaxed doing this, and I don't have any kind of major personality problems doing it.
Well, as I say, I mean, like, you certainly satisfied everyone last night. It's a great band, a great performance by yourself, and I tell you what, I hope you like the rest of Australia, because the rest of Australia is going to get right off on you and the band.
Thanks very much.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.